corner of Dynasty, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And if you were in the chats, you know what time it is. Predictions. Predictions now open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series, on who you think will advance on, as Dark is rushing into the gold. Of course he is. When it comes to Zerg players playing on Dynasty, very rarely do you see a Zerg player not rush into the gold and not go into roach aggression. That's like the go-to. That is the most standard way of playing on Dynasty. Doesn't look standard, but this has become the meta on Dynasty. Just because of the goal base, just because of the high yield gas geyser as well. It was a 15-15 out of Dark. And we have seen a lot of Terran players blindly counter this. Well, there's a lot of conversation going on. Unfortunately, I don't think we don't have a translator. If anyone can translate, if anyone has like Google Lens, I would appreciate it. What's going on? I'll be ready for next time. But regardless, we are settling in, and ByuN is going for a Rax expand. But what I was getting at is that we've seen a lot of Terran players like blindly proxy here, just go 2-Rax Reaper, proxy, or 2-Rax Marine, proxied at the gold, or just 2-Rax Reaper openers. I'm sure that's what they were talking about. The last time we saw these two face off on this map was in KSL, when Dark had to play from a PC bang, when his internet went down. Thankfully, that is not the case this time. See in the chat. I mean, you're probably not wrong. Dark said, bro, this clown map pool was made for me. ByuN said, true, you are the clown. Oh no. You're an animal. You're an animal. Not wrong though, not wrong. Meanwhile, there's Roach Warren. Roach Warren is now being taken. Gas, of course, was prioritized, and Dark is getting into his Roach Rush. Meanwhile, ByuN does get eyes on this, and he will attempt to delay mining. Will threaten the gold. Reaper does pivot away, but at least ByuN is aware. The question becomes, can ByuN survive this? Is going for a 2-1-1 response, something also very intentional. I don't know if you noticed, but ByuN, he does not wall off here at the natural. The reason for this is because, again, because it's so common to go into Roach aggression and Ravager aggression, ByuN's production is going to be actually safe further back from the Roach Ravager. So this is very intentional specifically for this map, specifically because he's assuming, or he did assume to begin with, that Dark was Roach rushing. Speaking of, Dark is moving out. ByuN, his bunker's almost done. And again, the bunker is further back as well to kind of force the Ravagers closer and further up the ramp to expose themselves. Ravagers are morphing in. Dark now checking the wall, does confirm. That's, I mean, it's wide open. Dark, he's like, what? He's like, where are your buildings? What's going on? What am I meant to pile down? And ByuN's like, Papi, my brain is huge. I knew you were doing this from the beginning. Depot goes down, just a depot. Add-ons are safe. Production is safe. Dark, he's like, you're the clown. Like, what are you doing? Metagaming me. ByuN's like, mate, you're so predictable. Meanwhile, we're flooding links. Dark is all in. Dark is completely all in. It's all or nothing. I would love to see a second bunker, but alas, ByuN doesn't know how committed Dark is the problem. Bunker under fire. Dark rallying Lings. Ling speed is almost done. And with speedlings, I do think that Dark can break this. It's going to be close. Bearing in mind Stim is completed, so the Lings, they will melt. That's a lot of Lings. Bunker taking a lot of hits. Tank is on the way. And we're waiting for Dark to pull the trigger. Ravager denying mining time. Oh, nice scout here with the medevac. He knows! He sees, he knows. Is it too late? The Lings are stuck behind! No! The Ravagers, they're too thick! One Ravager gets sniped. Lings are trickling in. Oof. And everything's getting stuck here on the ramp. Nice piles on the SCVs. But ByuN is holding. Yeah, the tank has arrived. ByuN is holding. The Ravagers, they're too wide. As, again, we had a bit of a blunder to attack up the ramp. Again, the choke point is brutal. ByuN shuts it down. And Dark is droning. Now Dark expands. Dark, he's now starting to drone up. He has realized he cannot break ByuN. He cannot kill him. And Dark is going to attempt to macro out of this. Now, it is late droning. It's a late third base, late saturation. It's not an easy road to kind of walk here for Dark. But at least he's denying mining. True. Like, he's denying the gold base. Is denying mining time. Up! Oh my god. As ByuN, he wants the Ravagers. He wants them. Gets through the Lings, and he's going to get them as well. Ooh, every single Ravager is going to go down. Ay, ay, ay. And with that, ByuN can keep going. He has map control. And he's hunting down Overlords. Stripping control away from Dark. Dark behind this, forced to make roaches. And again, is at least denying some mining time at the gold. But the tanks are edging ever closer. And Dark still has a little recovering to do. Oh. As ByuN is getting another Overlord. That's 3 Overlords so far. Now going for the final Ravager. Behind this Dark, he's getting up to 40 worker saturation. That's okay. Still droning. Oh. Still droning up. ByuN working towards 1-1. Oh no. You're all animals in the chat. You're all animals. Someone post a Dark copy pasta. Ay, ay, ay. Shaking my head. It's behind this Dark taking another expansion. Getting his 4th. Still on a low drone count. Ooh, losing another 2 Ravagers. Another 2 Ravagers going down. Speak of Sierra to ByuN. Dark still attempting to stabilize. The gold base is still a factor, bear that in mind, alongside the high yield gas geyser as well. So Dark, he can sustain some of these losses thanks to the gold. Can sustain. Meanwhile, ByuN is still also getting towards his 4th CC. 3rd is up and running. I still want to give the edge economically here to ByuN. I mean, he's got his own gold. Mining, getting a drone. The plunder drop here towards the natural. Dark is keeping up. It's keeping up, forcing back the drops. Still embracing Roach Ravager. No Baneling as yet. Likewise, the armory is delayed for ByuN. So his 2-2's going to be heavily delayed as well. That will help Dark out. There's going to be a window where Dark has 2-2 over his opponent. Shutting down the roaches, spreading out his creep. Dark, he is stabilizing. Building up a threatening army. And the question now becomes, can ByuN hold on to his 4th? The 4th base is going to be that much more exposed. Area's wide open. Dark can abuse it. ByuN is getting ready, spreading out his tanks. Ideally getting some SimCity going, with depots, with bunkers. As Dark is going to be the first to max out. He's Maxing out with Roach Ravager. ByuN throwing down his towers. 2-2 just now beginning. And Dark should soon pull the trigger. I mean, he's maxed. He's just waiting for his upgrades. Once they kick in, then it's go time. Then we send it back. Both getting guys in the army. At least keeping Dark busy. Hive is on the way. From here, Dark could try to go into Hydra Lurker. There's no Bailey Nest yet. No melee upgrades either. As ByuN gets caught out. Picking up a couple of Marines. The tank line is brutal, but there we go. We have finally melee on the way. Spire, Bailey Nest as well. Dark is looking to refine his army. And has begun to drone again. He's droning. He's crazy. But I'm a little bit concerned. This droning from Dark does tell us that he most likely won't push into this fourth. So ByuN is going to be able to max himself. And momentum is going to swing in favor of ByuN. Double expanding, getting 3 CCs, maxing out himself. Dark wasn't able to achieve too much with his army, and now Dark, he has an inefficient maxed out army here with mainly Roach Ravager. We'll see how we can make use of it. Infestors are on the way, they will help. Dark being dragged into tank fire, takes down a medevac. Not bad. Solid piles. And Dark trading out his roaches. I mean, he wants to trade out the roaches, replacing them with lings and banelings. So better trades for Dark. Refining his army. Greater spires on the way. Infestors have arrived. And here comes the move out. So Dark will have Fungals. Fungals are going to be available. Likewise, there's plenty of Ghosts, plenty of EMPs. Scan does reveal the Infestors. That's a lot of tanks. Fungal grazes the army. Oh! Gets a Ghost. At the same time, drop towards the left-hand side. Vipers have arrived, but they need time. The tanks are gaining ground. Another Fungal, an okay connection. Another Ghost falls. And Darky does have to evacuate the expansion. The Gore base is going to go down. Dark looking for that Fungal. Doesn't quite get it. And Dark going to be bleeding out 2 hatcheries. 2 bases falling. Dark going for a Roach counterattack. Not bad. Gets a Ghost. Ghost goes down. Another Ghost falling. Massive pickups. And the tanks, they do need some support. And ByuN is going to get the hell out of here. He cannot keep up. And Dark will break out. Nice Fungal. The Ghost. He gets 2. Gets every single Ghost. Not bad. Takes down the Ghost, hunting down the tanks as well. And ByuN did overstay his welcome. Where were the reinforcements? They were stuck at home. ByuN has to back up. And now Dark, he can have some time here to regather energy on those Vipers. Gathering energy, building up his Ling Bane. +2 melee on the way. Dark, he does survive. Did lose a couple of bases though. Thankfully, he has top left getting saturated. He can maintain himself. I believe we have no Corruptors yet, but we have the Greater Spire. So we can get into Broodlords. ByuN taking another expansion, cutting the map in half. Sensor towers everywhere. Oh, and we can take a moment to breathe. It's a couple of tense moments there between Dark and ByuN. Very tense. Now we can calm things down, maxing out. Second Spire's on the way. That's going to be for, of course, the upgrades. Getting ready for those Broodlords. Speaking of Broodlords, though, ByuN, he has begun Thor production. Getting into Mecha Ghost. As efficient as this army is, because of the map itself, because of the features, it's actually very wide open. The choke points aren't as narrow and aren't as brutal. So there are openings here for Dark. They can try to make use of. Mainly's morphing in. We have Blue Flame on the way, +2 vehicle weapons, we mentioned before. Again, ByuN just embracing that mech, going for advanced servos. More factories. And we could be here for a while. Let's go. I mean, I say that, like, these locations are still very wide open. Three more factories in production. More CCs, more planetaries. And again, ByuN is trying to make these choke points. Game is settling in. Fusion Core is on the way alongside another starports. This could be for BC production. I'm leaning more towards Liberators, but I mean, either or. It's likely just Lib, just to secure ourselves. Just calming things down. There's no easy way for Dark to really abuse too many of these like locations outside of this center fourth base. Ghost getting exposed. Nice around. They dive in. They catch out the Ghost. Very nice catch. And Dark, he can keep pushing. And ByuN is exposed. Meanwhile, he's focusing towards the south. Takes down a base. ByuN gets an expansion. Bleeds out a good chunk of his army. Still these two bases yet to be taken. And nukes are on the way. Let's go. Going Thor Ghost. Meanwhile, the first wave of Broodlords are in production. Not too many, just 4. 4 Broodlords for the time being. Ultra Cavern as well, just for those upgrades. Dark is getting there. Scans do reveal the Broodlords. ByuN is aware. And he knows. No Viking production yet. Instead, Dark, there we go, going for Link Runway. As mentioned before, this base is not a planetary. Finally, the third, or I should say the fourth, is being punished. SCVs are going down. Like, this area was just so exposed. It's going to be 19 SCV kills. Meanwhile, Dark building up even more Broodlords, getting him to 8. Embracing his Broodlord Infestor, making 40 more Lings behind this. His Lings once again Dark hitting the southern base. Tanks are exposed, tanks are going down, and ByuN is just spread a little bit too far thin. And we spoke earlier, the terrain of this map, I mean, it's just so much more wide open. The choke points are not narrow enough. Not for this kind of style. Getting another CC. How many Broodlords are we up to? So far, 7. 7 Broodlords. But ByuN has a new fresh expansion. Likewise, Dark getting his own. Liberators have arrived. Oh! Decent fungal. Broodlord's coming in. Very delicate micro here from Dark. Does land another big fungal! Oh my god! Yeah, the ghosts are getting caught out. The Thors as well. And Dark, he has to back up. The Liberator's just now arriving. Solid Biles takes down a Lib. Gets a tank. And Dark has been trading more efficiently. You can see ByuN just burning through his bank. Oh. Leading out a Viper there. Dark, calm down. Has to respect the Thors. Neuralist halfway done. Still not researched. Ooh, Dark rallying into the army. Not the most ideal situation here as we bleed out so many Lings. And Dark plummets in supply. And I'm concerned because that was a lot of his larva. Oh. 9 Ultras on the way. ByuN is gaining ground, takes down an expansion, pushing forward. And Dark trying to remax an Ultra, but it takes a long time for them to really come into play. Gets another Ghost. And a Thor. Well, ByuN is gaining ground. Another Thor goes down. ByuN taking down base after base. Going for that center expansion. Ultra's getting shut down by the Ghosts. Oof. Yeah, not the best trades here once again from Dark, losing and bleeding out 4 Ultras. Expensive losses. Yeah, the Thors are left behind. ByuN gets the hell out of there. Does boost away. Dark going for a counterattack. Not much to defend back at home. Just a planetary. Ghost, they drop back in. Ultra into the mineral line. The 1 Ultra up. It's 8 SCVs. Taking down more planetaries. Still very scrappy. Both players have burned through their mineral banks. Still have a lot of gas. It's been a very scrappy couple of minutes here for both sides. Yeah, we do see that ByuN is just gaining more ground, taking down another expansion. Dark going for a massive counterattack. And it looks like he should be able to break this expansion. No planetary. Lings, they bust in. They get into the mineral line. SCVs are going down. Yeah, ByuN out of position. It's racing on over with those Ghosts. SCVs wreaking havoc. ByuN running across the map. Oof. 13 SCVs, and that does actually keep this northern expansion safe. He's okay. Saves the expansion. Do still believe that ByuN has the more efficient army. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, the Broodlord count was reset. So no more Broodlords, it's mainly Ultra Infestor. Interesting. I mean, the tank count has been thinned out quite a bit. There are a lot of tanks, but a lot of them are mainly defensive, spread out between the bases. So there's potential for this army, for the Mass Ultra. Potential. We'll see. I mean, if he can get on top of the army, then sure, the Ultras, they can have their way with this, but That's easier said than done. There's just so many snipes available, the Liberators, tank volleys, SimCity. So many other factors at play. I'm not entirely convinced here by the 10 Ultras. But we'll see. Convince me, Bobby. Convince me. Gonna take down another expansion. Dark, long distance mining. And yeah, he just taps out. He doesn't engage. He can't engage. And ByuN will take game number 1. Bit of an anticlimactic end. We don't get to see the final fights, but yeah, he was stuck with just a subpar army. I wasn't too convinced by the Ultras. Dark wasn't even convinced by the Ultras, and GG. GG, well played. ByuN will take game number 1. But that was a very, very intense game. It started off with Dark going for the all-in, which ByuN was ready for. ByuN was able to shut it down and was able to settle into his own 4-base economy. Dark was able to likewise survive, max out, and went into kind of a maxed out scenario here, with the army being, with the map being split in half. But ByuN was being more efficient, and Dark was having a hard time really settling on his late game army composition. He had gone into initially Broodlord, which were shut down. Then he had overinvested into Ultras, and he was kind of stuck on that for a while. And GG. GG, well played. ByuN does take it. Now we're getting ready for game number 2. I don't think I've ever seen a macro game like this on this map at the pro level. God, was it? I think we saw it once at EWC, maybe. I agree though. It's very rare. It's very rare because 1, this map is often vetoed, so we rarely get maps in general. 2, we often see all-ins on this map as well. But yeah, I want to say there was maybe like 1 game in EWC where we saw it. Maybe from. Not Raynor. Maybe from Serral? Maybe I'm thinking Shin? Here we go. Here we go. Getting into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkion, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran, the red Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Yeah, late game TvZ on Dynasty it can be brutal, definitely, as we did see. Often, if all-ins fail, I mean, what I should say as well, now that I think about it, even in the late games that we have seen, it's gas pool, by the way. Let's go. Even the late games that we have seen, it's usually off of a failed all-in from Zerg players. Like, Zerg players don't usually play out Dynasty to get to a later macro game, so they don't necessarily have the cleanest kind of road there. But now that I think about it, I think it was Shin. I think Shin was the player that I remember seeing in a late game there on Dynasty. Regardless, fast link speed. So it was gas pull opener out of Dark, rushing into link speed, pulling out of gas, so it's not going to be a bailing bust, but Dark is link flooding nonetheless. Oh boy. Here we go. Dark, he has run out of patience. He spent it all on Dynasty. He wants none of it. Not again. Is taking his natural. Lings are going to be avoiding the initial scouting path. They're skirting around the edge of the map towards the left-hand side. Here we go. We'll see if Dark can catch ByuN with his pants down. As ByuN did avoid the SCV scout. Okay, so far so good. No SCV scout out of ByuN. ByuN is in the Dark. Reaper moves out. Overlord does confirm, and Dark moves in. Dark, his goal here is not just to delay the expansion, but to ideally get more than that. Especially with that faster link speed timing. Yeah, it does force a cancel. Massive pickup. Does dip off the ramp. But the wall is solid. And ByuN is forced to remake and rebuild in the main. Here comes link speed. Likewise, the Reaper is denied. Will be able to escape, does get over to the other side of the wall. Reaper does slip away. Dark, he wants it. He wants the Reaper. Knocking down those rocks. Likewise, ByuN going 3cc. Reaper dips in. Reaper does dive up the ramp. Getting a full scout. Will eventually be cleaned up. And he's just trying to get a read on extra gas mining, extra workers, extra lings. And we can see the Dark is at least droning up. He's droning, he hasn't pulled back into gas. Sending out his lings once again, just trying to contain ByuN on one base for as long as possible. But again, ByuN is more than happy to be contained. We'll be slowly expanding. Taking the natural. Getting into a Banshee-based opener. Let's go. He's just being safe. We would have counterattack, of course. We would have shut down roaches. Dark, I believe, yes, staying on a lower queen count. Just 3 queens. Oh. If the Banshee is kept hidden, then Dark could be in a bit of trouble. Assuming that we research Cloak. For now, it's just vanilla Banshees. No Cloak. Natural now being taken. Stim is on the way. Yeah, ByuN just being more secure back at home instead. So he won't be able to harass the mineral lines and at least counterattack with the Banshees. There's plenty of queens to defend. He gets a singular Banshee. 4th queen is on the way. I'm just catching up with the chat. You had me at Dark and edging. Esther Rowdy. You're an animal. You're an animal. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, the link. As Dark, he's able to at least fight for control of the Zonaga. But ByuN can actually target his own Hellion. If he wanted to, he could actually get on both sides, attack his own Hellion and kill the Ling with splash damage. That is possible. For those that are curious, this Ling is close enough to the Zonaga to make sure it doesn't get taken over by the Terran, but also in the steam vent so it doesn't get scattered. It doesn't get seen. Without high ground vision. Without a Banshee. Speaking of, Banshees are moving out, and ByuN will eventually clean this up. There we go. The Banshees have arrived. They reveal themselves. Ling finally goes down. Likewise, ByuN does find the Ling counterattack. Ooh, shuts it down. Banshees moving out. How many queens do we have? Ooh, just 5 queens. 3 at the 3rd. Banshees, they hit the 4th. They're looking to force a cancel. They look to, and they will. 4th base is denied. Lings at the same time they hit the 3rd. But plenty of Marines to defend. Our boys are being pulled. SCVs are going down. 6 SCV kills. Getting up to 7. Hellions out of position. ByuN will still defend. Not without losses. At the same time, though, ByuN did deny the 4th. Thankfully, Dark did double expand. Double expanded. Getting into Ling Bane. No Rochewarren. Banshees, they come back in. Oh, they force another cancel. The Banshees being so annoying. And there's just no creep here. Queens cannot keep up. Hellions, they threaten the expansion, but there's not much saturation. And they get the hell out of there. Dark still only on 51 workers. No extra gases, just 2 gases, pure Ling. No Baneling Nest, which I did notice as well. Just pure Ling out of Dark. Baneling Nest just now on the way. Scan will confirm the macro hatch, the Baneling Nest. Which means ByuN knows that there's a window. There's an opportunity here for him to move out and strike it. I don't know if Dark can survive this, I'll be honest. I'm a little bit concerned. Baneling Nest is not ready. It's halfway done. And if ByuN moves in with his army, there's only Ling Queen to defend. And remember, there's only, what, 5 queens? Yeah, only 5 queens. Now is the time. Oh, boy. The Baneling Nest is about to finish, though. ByuN, is he taking too long? As he's pushing forward. Baneling Nest has completed. Yeah, Darky goes for a counterattack. Banelings are morphing in. He's going for a massive Ling run by. He knows he cannot fight this. Hatchery is going to go down. But Dark is buying time. Back at home. Ooh, ByuN is secure. The Lings, they do nothing across the map. GG gets called, and ByuN will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Dark was playing with fire. That was crazy. So Dark, winding it back, if you recall, Dark, he was staying on 2 gases, only 2 gases, no Banelings, only 1 Evo chamber, purely Ling Queen, and it did seem like Dark was relying upon Ling counterattacks and Ling run-bys to try to keep ByuN at home. But we saw that some of those run-bys weren't too successful. The Hellions were shutting him down, the Marines were in position, and when ByuN scanned, when he saw the main, he saw an opportunity. He was like, hold up, your Bane list is just now being thrown down? I mean, it's over. And it was. It was over then and there with the Hellbat push. GG, well played. ByuN will advance on to the grand finals, and we are now getting ready for the upper semifinals. They're currently underway. We have a PvZ between Hero and Shin.